He's a man beloved by Tifo Football and he's been linked to a number of Premier League clubs. But which move would be the best for him? There's only one way to find out. Come join us. Hello, and I'm Josh, the face of FMBase, bringing Wonderkids to this place, and of course today we're talking about Ibrahim Sangare. But before we continue, please remember that subscribing to the channel is the easiest and 100% free way of showing your love for the Football Manager content here on FMBase, and any comments you drop in the comment section down below will help us ensure that we produce more of the content that you want to see. So with Arsenal, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Leicester City, Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur all linked with Sangare at some point. Man, I hope I'm saying that name right. But with so much risk involved in any move, how can you be sure which one's the best for you? Well, today at FMBase we've hopped over to the cloning bat and we've produced 6 Ibrahim Sangares. So we can put one in each team that he's been linked with, we can simulate 5 seasons and see which move turns out to be the best.
I like you, but you're crazy.
Wow, you know what they say. It's a fine line between genius and insanity. So far, the teams have played all of their friendly games, so let's take a look to see if Ibrahim Sangare is featured in any, and if so, where's he played? So if we jump into the Arsenal squad, you can see Ibrahim here is just listed as Ibrahim. I'm assuming that's to avoid any confusion. But so far, he's only made 6 appearances, 3 starts and 3 substitute appearances in pre-season so far. Although you can see one of these performances has yielded a man of the match performance. But if we jump over to the tactics page at Arsenal, unfortunately he doesn't appear to be in this starting 11 and is actually situated down here as sub number 11. But of course, over 5 seasons things could change. So let's move on to the next squad. So if we take a look, this is 2 Ibrahim, and he has so far again made 3 starts but 5 substitute appearances for Crystal Palace at the start of the game so far, but no goals, assists or man of the match performances. And if we take a look at the tactics, again he's not in their starting 11 and he is actually ranked at sub number 5 though, so at least he's in the match day squad. And with this injury here to Mooney, I hope he can slip into that position. So at Leicester, not as good a start, only 4 substitute appearances in the friendly so far with 1 assist. And that's about it. And if we look at the tactics at the moment, he isn't in the starting 11 or in the matchday squad in the substitutes bench. So perhaps it's not looking too clever at Leicester City, but again, 5 seasons to go. So if we look at Aston Villa, Sangare has made 4 starts and 2 substitute appearances. No goals or assists at the moment. However, if we look at the matchday squad, you will see he is here in the midfield position, starting 11. So perhaps he'll get a tidy run at Aston Villa. Who knows? At Newcastle United so far, he has made 2 starts and 4 substitute appearances in the friendlies and an assist. Looking at the starting 11, there is a Sangare there. However, it is Mohamed Sangare, but Ibrahim is on the bench, so we'll see what happens there. And last but not least, in the Premier League, you can see at Tottenham he has made 2 starts and 5 substitute appearances in the friendlies so far. However, he has not made the starting 11 for their next game that is coming up today. Neither is he on the bench as substitute number 9. And just to really twist your melon, not only is there 6 Ibrahim Sangares in the Premier League, I've also left the original at PSV, and just for comedy purposes, it appears he's also wanted by Norwich. So which move is going to work out best for Ibrahim Sangare? Or will 6 of the same player in a league just break Football Manager and make this a complete waste of time? In order to find out, let's run the So we're back. We've simulated 5 seasons, 5 years into the future. There's been another general election and somehow, despite more court cases and affairs, Boris Johnson is still Prime Minister.
I have a thing where I make models of... when I was in London, when Mayor of London, we build a beautiful... I make buses.
But he still hasn't learned to brush his hair. However, the important question is, did having 6 of the same player in one league break the game? Or are we going to be able to find something that actually worked and see which move was the best for Ibrahim Sangare? So to judge which move has been the best, this is going to be a subjective sliding scale, and if we do any more of these videos, should this one work, it'll be different for each one, depending on the player and the teams that he's going to. But in this save, we're going to look at the appearances that he's made and which league that he has played in to determine whether the move has been successful and led to something good or bad. But let's take a look at the worst transfer move. So as you can see, it is Leicester, and this is without doubt the worst move that Ibrahim Sangare could have made. Let's take a look. So to see if he was still at the club, the first thing I did was to jump into the transfers, and you'll notice the first season nothing happened. However, in the second season he was sold to Real San Sebastian. So after making 0 appearances in his first season, he then only made 3 appearances following his 2.4 million move to Real San Sebastian. And then the following season sold to Southampton for 3.2 million, but he only made 4 appearances there before being loaned to a team whose name I cannot pronounce in Mexico, where he's had quite a successful season. However, I would argue making no appearances in your first season and only 7 appearances in the 2 following seasons, this has not been a very good move at all, and has probably been quite detrimental to his career. And in 5th position, the 5th worst move he could have taken was to Arsenal. So if we take a look, in the second season he was there, he was sold for 3.1 million to Olympique Marseille, back to France where he actually started his career. But if we take a look at the stats, he did make a number of appearances, scoring some goals and performing quite well, before moving to FC Porto, a big money move for 23.5 million. However, he only made 6 appearances, 1 in the B squad. So even though he did well at France, you could argue that the French league is a step down from the Premier League, and then moving over to Portugal, where you're only going to make 5 appearances in the first team in 2 seasons, don't think this has been a very good move for him. So Arsenal is a no. So in 4th position is Aston Villa, and as you can see, they are still in the Premier League. But why was this not the best move? Let's take a look. So jumping into the transfer window, he was actually sent out in the very first season for 5.25 million, again to Mexico, this time to a team whose name I can say, Monterrey. And as you can see, whilst he is still in Mexico, the reason I don't think this is as bad a move as some of the others where he has dropped down leagues is because despite only making 6 appearances, since he's moved, he's actually had an above 7 average rating the whole time. He's scored goals, he's had assists, man of the matches, and has played in probably what is the majority of his team's games. So again, even though it's not as high a league, he's actually been able to play football in this move and perform well. So in 3rd position, and probably the only time they'll be in 3rd position for anything, is Newcastle United. And if we take a look, in the 2022-23 season, he was sold. However, he was sold to Atletico Madrid for 16.25 million, as you can see over here. So although his stats look a little bit messed up by adding in Atletico B here for reasons I don't quite understand, you'll notice he made 17 appearances in his first season with an assist with a good average rating here. And then when he moved to Atletico Madrid in the first season, he made 9 appearances, an average solid rating. The next season he bumped up to 11 appearances, and the following season 21 appearances, but unfortunately last season only 6. But the reason I've ranked this quite highly is because he did play well at Newcastle United, and he has been fairly consistent at Atletico, which makes it very middle of the road, which is why it's middle of the road. And ironically, the move that was in 2nd position was to the team who this season, 2026, finished in 2nd position. But unfortunately, Sangare was not in the squad that finished 2nd. And if we take a look, in actually his first season at Spurs, he was sent out on loan to a team. So he made 34 appearances for that team and scored goals, assists, man of the match, and a 7.62 average rating, which was fantastic. The following season, though, he was only able to manage 10 appearances at Tottenham and then won the following season. But he was able to secure a move to Italy at Torino, where he had a fantastic first season, 35 appearances, 3 goals, assists, man of the match awards, over 7 rating, and in the following season he was on his way to replicate the prior, but he made the move then, which you can already see that has made this the second best transfer for Ibrahim Sangare for me. He went to Aston Villa, which, if you can remember, they actually sold Sangare for just over 5 million after only making 6 appearances. So they are out of pocket. I love the irony. That has tickled me pink. But of course, by powers of deduction, that means that the first best move that FM has told us Ibrahim Sangare can make, based on my own subjective measurement, is to Crystal Palace. And if we take a look at the tactics here, he is still at Crystal Palace, playing in that central midfield position. Let's take a look at his career. So as you can see, he's played a good number of games every single season. He's scored goals in every season, bar 2, but he's had assists in every season and man of the match awards in every season, bar 1. And he's played consistently well, only 2 seasons below a 7 average rating. So by my own subjective measurement, that is why I feel the move to Crystal Palace, which is giving him consistent performances, consistently playing, the number 1 move for Ibrahim Sangare. And just to take us full circle, let's take a look at the original Ibrahim Sangare here. You can see he's now actually at Montpellier, but he made the move to Montpellier just this season for 4.1 million after, let's be fair, quite a disappointing time at PSV where he hasn't made a lot of appearances, and he should make the move, and he should make the move to Crystal Palace. And lastly, just for a giggle, if we take a look to the Ivory Coast, where Ibrahim Sangare plies his trade on a national basis, you'll see there are actually 3 Ibrahim Sangares here. The first one has 46 caps, as you'll see here. The second has 37 caps. Number 4 has 39. The 5th has 34, but the 6th only has 21. However, the original Ibrahim Sangare only has 20 appearances, so the other connotations of him has actually kept himself out of the national squad. So there we have it, something very different here on FMBase, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know in the comment section below if this is something that you enjoyed, as I do have 1 or 2 more planned out. But if you think it's rubbish, let me know, but nicely. But in the meantime, I want to thank you massively for watching the video, and I really hope you enjoyed it today. If so, please drop us a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to connect with me, I am FMFO Official on Twitter and on Twitch. But remember, this is the place. It's FMBase. I'll see you next time.